Welcome to my All About series, where once again I spend 5 minutes or less rambling on about a chosen subject. Feel free to suggest a subject in the comments below. This one is all about spiders. Spiders have been around a while now, and by a while I mean a really long time, with the oldest fossil dated at over 300 million years old. And it was French. According to the WSC, the World Spider Catalogue, it has recently recorded its 50,000th species, with the African continent having the lion's share of them. The arachnologists suggest that there may be yet another 50,000 species to add to the list in the future. The WSC is updated at 6-month intervals and is currently running at an average of 600 new species documented every year. Spiders consume between 400 and 800 million tons of insects every year, making them the planet's most important defender in insect population control. A study conducted at the University of Basel in Switzerland used data collected by 65 other separate studies to calculate this amount. To put this into context, humans consume an average of 400 million tons of meat and fish annually. Also, according to the research, spiders in forest and grassland biomes account for more than 95% of these kills. Simply put, where there are less humans, there are more spiders. Spiders are not only our safety net when it comes to insect pests, they are also food for many other animals, with 8 to 10,000 species feeding exclusively on spiders, and 3 to 5,000 bird species that include them in their diet. When it comes to tarantulas, things get a little odd. With over 900 different species of them, you would expect a little confusion. I personally wouldn't complain if each species used the subscribe button below, and click the notification bell so they didn't miss any more of my videos. But science has come to the rescue and managed to whittle that number down to 2, the Old World and the New World. The Old World tarantulas comprise of spiders found in the Eastern Hemisphere, with the continents of Asia, Africa, Europe and Australia, whilst the New World is comprised of tarantulas found in the North, South and Central America. This would appear to be seriously oversimplified and solely based on geographical distribution, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Old World tarantulas are fast, very fast, and they're not as hairy as their American cousins, which leads me to believe that cyclists that shave their legs may just be onto something. One other thing also separates them: they are capable of incredibly painful bites. In comparison to this, the New World tarantulas make slow, deliberate movements, are usually on the hairy side, and their bark is much worse than their bite, that resembles nothing more than a bee sting at best. They do have one little trick up their sleeves though. Remember those hairs? Those hairs can be flicked out by the spider by rubbing their back legs on them and effectively kicking them out in your direction. On contact with the skin, and more so the eyes, nasal cavities or even open wounds, can cause significant irritation, giving the spider enough time to scamper away unharmed. The lack of hairs on a spider's ass can give an indication of how grumpy a spider is. A hairy spider is a friendly spider. During the research and fact-checking for this video, I found something that surprised me, and that is that people that are afraid of spiders, arachnophobes, aren't really afraid of being bitten by one, with spiders on the body or spiders walking being the greatest fears. I'm hoping I can change this right now as I delve into their biting habits. Firstly, all but 2 families of spider have venom glands, meaning that almost all of them are venomous, but out of the 50,000 plus species that we have so far come across, only 3 of them are considered medically significant. Spider venom is designed by evolution to be an insecticide that will paralyze and subdue them so that the spider can prepare its prey without risk of being chomped on by its dinner. And the few venoms that do affect humans are usually similar to that of a bee or wasp sting. Please remember, spiders are venomous, not poisonous. This is a question or statement that irritates arthropod lovers more than you will ever know. We've all heard the stories of the spider injecting its prey with digestive juices and then sucking out the insides like a vampire. But is this true? Not entirely. This myth was born because food digestion starts outside the spider's body rather than inside it like you and I. Many spiders literally vomit digestive fluid, basically stomach acid, all over the prey item to soften it up. Then, the spider chews up the prey with its jaws or chelicerae, and the pulp is sucked into the mouth and swallowed. Inedible parts of the prey, such as the hard shells, wings, and sometimes legs, are discarded later as a ball of residue. Spiders with powerful jaws will often bite holes in the shell of their prey and vomit into them to start digesting the prey from the inside and then drink them like a bug smoothie. This leaves the familiar hollow husk that we've all seen bobbing about in the breeze on a spider's web. Imagine a substance stronger than steel, water repellent, and that has immense elasticity. This is spider silk. If you've ever seen the sun shine through the dew on a newly constructed spider web in the morning, then you must have wondered what efforts went into making such a work of art. Not much, as it turns out. It only takes a spider between 30 and 60 minutes to create such a beautiful wonder on average, and some spiders make a new one every single day. A recent study plotted the behaviour of a group of spiders web building using special cameras that prove that they use a playbook of sorts. Each followed the same behavioural patterns during the process. This playbook determines that the spider's brain has a blueprint from birth of architectural instructions, and, of course, for the scientists to confirm these instructions are at a neuron level, they will need to get the spiders stoned on mind-altering drugs. It's the only way to be sure. Not all spiders spin those wonderful orb webs we all find fascinating though. Some spiders spin funnels, tubes, and others have evolved to spin webs they use like a lasso. Although all spiders are capable of producing silk, some spiders don't make webs at all, preferring to hunt using stealth, camouflage, or just by jumping their prey, literally. Mating in spiders can be a tricky business, especially if you're the male of some species, as it is often common practice for the female to kill and eat you as a light snack after the deed is done. If this happened in humans, then I would have spent my younger years watching football with the sexless jocks instead of being the lady killer that I am. Raw. As spiders are mostly solitary animals, the first problem they come across is finding a mate so that they may pass on their genes before their neighbour does. Just like in humans, female spiders use perfume or pheromones to give the males some indication of where to look. Many females will coat their webs with pheromones like a big smelly satellite dish. In many species, a male may happen across a female that isn't quite sexually mature, and he will stalk her, waiting for her to molt and be ready. A little like we all did when waiting for Emma Watson's 16th birthday. If a male finds a female that has coated her web, the first thing he does is dispose of it, so that it doesn't attract another possible suitor, and therefore prevent the inevitable fight that would ensue. In most spider species, the males are much smaller than the females, and can easily end up a tasty snack if things aren't done just right, and this is where courtship begins. Strumming his favourite tune on a single thread of silk is a firm favourite, as most spiders have very poor eyesight. Jumping spiders, on the other hand, have excellent eyesight and proceed to do little dances and a lot of arm waving. It is then all up to the female to show if she is impressed by the male's performance, and that she is up for a quiet night in with some Netflix and chill. If the female doesn't give the all clear, the male may be desperate and try anyway, but this often results in his death. After establishing that she is in the mood, the male will make a small web where he will deposit sperm from his sexual organs, and then he scoops it up with his pedipalps. Carefully positioning himself, he will then place the sperm into the female's genital opening, and runs away like Usain Bolt late for a meeting. The female will store the sperm, sometimes of many different males, sluts, in separate sacs near the ovaries, choosing the sperm she wishes to use for the final egg lay. And that's all I have to say about spiders at this time. Thanks for watching.